So Shift Command 3, and I'm just going to take this little search box here, clip it, toggle over to Illustrator, and then File, Place. I'm going to put it right here and then move it, my contact, move it down, take my search box, move it up. Okay. I zoom in on it, it looks like it's not on the right layer because it's not, right? So it needs to come up a layer. So now that tells me that maybe I want to start moving my photos layer to the top of the stack. And turn it on. There we go. Okay, so now I have this. So I don't have to build that search box myself. I do want to put my pop-up menu, pop-down menu, on again. Oops, having a little glitch here. Let's move it down. There we go. And then this piece here, where should this be? This little panel needs to be on the photos layer. So I'm going to take this little white piece here, this little white piece, and put it on the photos layer. And then from the photos layer, I'm going to put it behind everything else, like so. So now it's still not behind the search box. Okay, so this guy, you need to go up. So this one is going to go up. There we go. All right, so now it's actually starting to look like a web page. So you know what to do here. Another way that I could do these images instead of using the clipping mask is similar to what I did before, which would be to copy this rectangle, toggle over to Photoshop, create a new document. It's going to be the same size as whatever I just copied, and paste it. I see a lot of people in their work having smart objects or paths or shape layers. You really don't want to put in a smart object into your design work unless you're going to do a round trip edit with it. It's only going to cause you confusion and discomfort when you want to edit it. A smart object is an element that you can copy from an Illustrator file and paste into a Photoshop file, and then if you update the Illustrator file or the Photoshop file, it'll update in the image that you have it in. Not necessary here, so I'm going to use pixels and just hit return. So now I have the size of this artwork. And your home page, design-wise, and I'm talking about technique as well as design, your home page, and I know I've said this, but forgive me, wants to be more or less a table of contents of the main important elements in the site. So the 3 images that I'm going to be using on the site are images that depict what I think are the 3 main or most important topics. So here I'll do a search for Save the Bees. Okay, and since I'm stealing everything right now, I'll just grab this. This looks pretty good. And again, I'll copy it, copy image, and toggle over to Photoshop and paste. Command T for scale or size. It's more likely that if this was for a client, clearly I would be making original artwork, but because it's for an educational demonstration, I'm wanting it to get a little faster done than that. So I'll do, again, a save, and this will be save as. Unless I need this file to be a layered file, I can save it as one piece now. Doesn't need to have layers. So again, I'm going to choose Save As, and I'm going to choose the PNG file format because it's a small format and it's lossless. Save Bees. Back to Illustrator and File, Place, Save Bees, Place, and I'll click and drag so it fits perfectly. Okay. And if I go back to Photoshop, because all these pieces of art are really the same size, I can continue with the same block, knowing that I have everything I need right there. So here I'm going to do bee house. Some pretty cool bee houses. So Control click, copy image, toggle, paste, Command T, and I am going to stretch it. Okay, that's how it's going to be. File, Save As, PNG, bee house. Toggle back over to Illustrator, File, Place, bee house, and click and drag. And what I'm doing is I'm moving the art 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 pixels. I'm counting as I move it, deleting, and moving it back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, now I'll proceed to the text. Okay, when you're building, we talked about this recently, building a web page that's going to be programmed by someone else. It's extremely helpful for you and for them that the typeface that you use is actually a font that will be immediately and easily translated to a web font. The font that I worked with and that I downloaded was Open Sans. So I'm going to go to the type tool and simply click once and start typing. Learn about how you can help. Triple click my text and find my font, which is Open Sans, OP, and here's Open Sans Bold. And again, if I click on the size for my type and I use the up arrow, I'm resizing my text. I might want this to just be a hair bigger, but not much. So this is where my article is going to fall, right here, about learning how you can help. There's a couple of different devices that I might want to use, either a vertical line or a colored panel, to make differentiation in these areas so that they don't all run together. And I'm going to go with colored panel. So I'm going to drop down a panel here. I'm going to change its color to a pale yellow. Cut it. Select my text. Edit. Paste and back. I also mentioned it's really up to you whether you want to use Greeking text or whether you want to grab an article from somewhere. For today's experiment, I'm going to use the Lipsum website, lipsum.com. Lipsu? No. Lipsum. can do it. There we go. Lets me generate text. Did I show you this before? Yes? Okay. So I'm just going to use one paragraph. And I'm not going to have it start with lorem ipsum because that's too obvious. And generate the text. Select the text. Copy it. Back over to Illustrator. I'm going to create a text box. Before I do anything else, I'm going to check the font that I have on that box. It's Open Sans bold, and I just need really regular old Open Sans. Come on, Open Sans. I know I have the rest of the family in here. Where'd you go, Open Sans family? Or I'm just going to paste it in. I know it's going to be wrong. 5 clicks and change to Open Sans, not bold, just Open Sans. There. LMNO. Huh, I sure thought I saw the other versions of it in here. Right, so now this is a quandary and a conundrum. Do I not really have all the Open Sans fonts downloaded properly? So I may need to go back and check myself, which I'm not going to do right now. I'm going to keep going and just use a different font, but make a note to myself. So this is going to be Optima. The font at 33 points is clearly way too big. I want it to be around maximum of like 20. So there's 21. And additionally, I may want to have some more line height. It's going to make a huge amount of difference for people reading this to have a greater amount of line height. So here's my font at character at 21 something, and I'm going to bring the leading up to not 36, but I want to use the down arrow now, and that looks about right, 28. So I have 21 on 28. This still gives me room to close up this box a little. Bless you, and click away. That's a lot of type. Looks kind of small. Since it's lorem ipsum, I can take out some of this and increase the size. This font itself seems like it's sized small. There we go. And then the last thing I'm going to put over here down at the bottom is learn more. So I'm going to make another little text box here and type learn more and make a little forward arrow and change this to Open Sans. All right. And for the panel over to the right, I'm actually going to grab all of this one more time and duplicate it. So I've selected all the text elements and the back panel, and I'm holding the Option and the Shift key and moving this over. Clicking away, selecting the yellow panel, I for eyedrop, and I'll get green color, and then I will modify this color so it's not so icky. It's just a little bit on the icky side. Okay. And this will be start your own hive. And most likely I would want to have this text aligned left because I'm not a big center person. And now this starts to be one of my queries and my questions. So I like the text aligned left. I want a certain amount of size from the edge So in sizing type, what I generally want to make sure is that the largest line of type feels comfortable, and all the other lines of type are based on the size of the largest line. So if this is the largest headline that I'm going to have, and the size is 33, I might want to bring it down a bit. And now that it's 32, I'll want to match the size here, making this one 32. Make sense? Okay. So now I have all this great space and all this information starting to fill in pretty quickly, and I have decided I need to add some social media icons. I can get those in a couple of different ways. You can snatch them from an already existing website, or you can do a search for them. Social media icons grouping. And there we go. So I'll save this to the desktop, save image as, social media icons, and there sure is a lot of them. And I'm going to actually open this up in Photoshop. Social media icons. So as you can see, it becomes really helpful to become more and more fluid across multiple applications to do this work that you have so bravely taken on as new fledgling graphic designers. So I'm going to actually cut this piece, make a new one, paste it. They're all blue. Okay, so I want to have one of these, close that, I don't need it. I want to have one of these be, let's say, YouTube. So copy, and don't need that, and paste. Nudge it down with my arrow tool. And here's the cropping tool. I'm going to crop this a little more. And no Facebook there, but that's okay. You get the idea. It's clear enough what we're doing. So we're going to do save as again, and I'm going to make it a PNG. And I'll just call this one icons. And back over here, file, place, icons, place. How about there? Okay. So my friends, last thing I'm going to put in here is my navigation arrow for my slider, or something that tells me that it's active. Maybe you want to put 3 little circles. You've probably seen this before, the 3 circles thing. So I could make one white, make the outline gray or black, scale it down, S for scale, click and drag. One, 2, Command D is 3, and I'll make the middle one filled with gray, as if that's the image we're on. What do you think? Does it look like a web page? All right, so because we are in luck and have wonderful people in this class with great thoughts and great ideas, what I would like to do now is pause from my demoing